Austin from St. Philip Presbyterian Church.
Before we begin, I'd like to say thank you to Dr. Harrington for the invitation and also for our awesome member at St. Philip Presbyterian Church and Dr. Biggin. Let's pray. Gracious and loving God, as we begin this meeting, we ask for guidance and wisdom to provide the kind of learning and instruction that sees every child as a gift and to seize every opportunity to encourage hearts to strive for excellence. Help us to lean into every opportunity to be innovative in preparing not only students, but also teachers and administrators, parents and extended families, churches, and all those who would take up the challenge to walk alongside others in this holy calling. Help us prepare students for success in a world of uncertainty as they transition from home to school, to higher education, and to vocational technical training. Help our parents, administrators, teachers, and support personnel and community to address learning and technological gaps, mental health challenges to well-being and socioeconomic issues and resource shortages. Help our community to address changes in the external winds that are constantly at people's backs, to meet the challenges for professional demands and burnout. Provide wisdom and guidance when funding and capacity clashes in unforeseen ways. Help us construct learning environments where all have the opportunity to thrive and succeed. We ask all these things and more from a God who can do exceedingly abundantly, even more than we can ask or even think. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Johnson. Next, we will be having our Pledge of Allegiance, and tonight that will be led by Emma Baker and Dior Rose Doncourt from Lakewood Elementary. Good evening. American flags over here, Texas flags on this side, and we'll follow you.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
All right, thank you. If you can stay for just a second, we got something for you.
While Mr. Romero gives them their certificates, I'd like to tell you a little bit about them. Emma Baker is a bright fourth grader from Lakewood Elementary and a wonderful example of exactly what we expect and value in our Eagles.
Emma.
She is a hardworking and respectful student who shows kindness to her classroom and leadership. Emma is also part of the Base Invaders softball team through the Tri-Cities League in Hurst, and she loves video games, reading, and swimming in the summer. We are incredibly proud of Emma and the way she represents Lakewood each and every day. Dior Rose Doncourt is a talented fourth grade student at Lakewood Elementary who shines both in and out of the classroom. She's thoughtful, responsible, and always willing to encourage those around her. Dior enjoys acting, traveling for debate, and playing cards with her family. She brings creativity, determination, and a joyful spirit to everything she does. We're so proud of Dior and the way she represents Lakewood with excellence and heart each day.
Thank you so much for being here tonight, and thank you to Lakewood. Tonight, the Board of Trustees is meeting in a regularly scheduled monthly meeting to officially act on items included on the posted agenda. The Board welcomes and values input from the community. A single open forum will be provided during tonight's meeting to allow the public the opportunity to address the Board. During this time, individuals may share comments or requests related to both agenda and non-agenda items. Those addressing the Board asked to limit their comments to 3 minutes per meeting. The speaker should identify their name, group affiliation, if any, and make a brief presentation with an identified solution if one is sought. Remarks should be addressed to the Board as a whole. Oral presentations may not include charges against any employee or board member by name. It is my responsibility to determine if the person addressing the Board has attempted to resolve the concern informally or through the district's complaint policies. If not, the speaker will be directed to follow the appropriate policy. The Board requests that all presentations be made in a courteous, respectful, and professional manner and asks that speakers monitor their own behavior. If you wish to speak during one of the open forums, please fill out one of the cards located on the table in the entry hall. Next, we will go over our board activity chart, and I'll start with Dr. Begin.
So recently, among other things, I had the pleasure of attending the Pyramid Choir concert that was held over at Trinity High School, and it was a really neat way to bring everybody together because it had students from elementary school, from the junior highs, and then up to the high schools. And it was so great to see the progression and see where they started when they were in elementary school all the way up to what we see today, which is just absolutely phenomenal. So if you ever get a chance to do that, highly recommend.
Mr. Campos.
So this past weekend, I got to see our Trinity Black Box Winter Show. These kids are amazing and what they do in theater. It was absolutely awesome. I also got to attend the Trinity football banquet. It's just amazing to see our football players dress up and sit down and honor our coaches and honor the students as well. Last point that I want to make is I pop in and out of seeing the leads. Our district does 2 years of training internally to raise up future leaders, potential principals, et cetera, et cetera. And this particular meeting included both the first year and the second year. And it's just amazing to see our senior leadership pouring into our other leadership for possible potential promotions. And just some of the conversation I heard and some of the examples given and questions and scenarios that they put them in were truly just awesome to see.
Ms. Cole.
So I wanted to mention we did the topping out at Hurst Hills Elementary the first day back after the winter break, and we were able to put that final piece of metal on top of that building before they start working on the inside, and that building is coming along, and to see the excitement in all of the teachers and the employees was really great. I also attended, for the first time I've ever been, the Trinity Wrestling Tournament. It was mad, crazy, organized chaos. The day that I was there were 900 wrestlers, and they were all in the activity center, and it was wild. But Coach Clark did such a great job, and everybody, it looked like chaos to me, but it looked like normal to them, and so it was great. And then I just want to also mention I attended the Bell Trinity basketball game. And for those of you in the room, if you have never been to a game where Bell and Trinity are playing each other, it doesn't matter what sport. Those kids show up and they give each other their best. And you want to witness it because it's incredible.
Ms. Ewart?
I want to take an opportunity to thank Mr. Belcher, Mr. Pugh, who's in the back of the room, and Dr. Givens for taking time out of their very busy day as leaders of our schools to come and address the Retired Teachers Association. The three of them came, and we have some folks in the audience here that are sitting from our organization out there, and I appreciate y'all being here, but they came and talked to pretty good sized group of retired teachers from HEB here about what's going on that's happening in their schools, and it was really a great event. And I just want to say I really, really appreciate the support that everyone in HEB gives each other. It's really a really special thing that I don't think most people appreciate if you haven't been here. So, thank you.
I just wanted to mention that I had the chance last week to go and talk to the student ambassadors and talk to them a little bit about the role of what the school board president does. So I appreciated that opportunity. As every year, they're a great group, and it's great to get to spend some time with them and talk with them about leadership. All right, superintendent's comments. Dr. Harrington?
You know, the one comment I'll add, or one event that I got to go to the Bell Trinity Senior Day swim meet. It's just one more time where those kids come together, and it was just neat them doing it together. They do Senior Day together, and all those families from both schools coming together to honor all those kids. So that was a really neat event.
Yeah. Any clarifications?
None at this time.
At this time, I'd like to say a quick thanks to our greeters this evening. You may have noticed 2 students in green blazers as you enter tonight. These students are part of the HEB ISD Student Ambassador Program, which is a select group of students chosen through an application and interview process to be the face of the district. They are trained to assist with public relations and communication services and are given the opportunity to positively promote HEB ISD while developing leadership skills. Tonight we have Lena Tran and Ishta Jawani, who are both seniors at Trinity High School. We've been using this opportunity to hear the voice of our district students by asking the ambassadors a question. This month we're asking, since you're both seniors, I'm sure you're aware that the graduation is only 4 months away now. Looking back on your time as HEB students, what class or program has most influenced your plans for after high school?
Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. My name is Lena Tran. I'm a senior at Trinity High School and a returner ambassador. And one of the experiences I've had at HEB High School, or HEB District, that has really changed my experiences is clinical rotations. Clinical rotations is not only a class, but a step to take action, to volunteer, to really get a hands-on feel of the medical field. Walking into high school, I had no clue of what I really wanted to do. I just knew that I wanted to help people, hence why I'm an ambassador. But walking into the hospital, going through radiology, oncology, the dentist office, has really changed my life, and especially the instructor, Ms. Savoda. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Ishita Chavani and I'm also a senior at Trinity High School in the HEB district, and I'm a new ambassador this year. And as we look back to my years at Trinity High School, something that has really impacted my plans for future was the International Baccalaureate program in Trinity High School. IB has taught me how to think more curiously and think with a purpose rather than just looking for an answer. Classes like IB Language and Literature and IB TOK has also challenged me in order to look beyond things, beyond their surface level value. Look at how things work the way they do and why what happens. Another thing is HEB ISD's diverse community, where talking with people from diverse backgrounds, different cultures, has given me a sense of empathy I could have never learned from the book. So I'm very grateful for HEB community for all of this new experiences. Thank you.
Thank you, Lynn and Nishida. All right, 4.02, School Board Recognition Month. Ms. Hollander.
Thank you. January is annually designated as School Board Recognition Month. As you can see by the banners and posters in the room, our theme this year is Our Future is Public. Tonight we have a special treat. We're excited to share this video that will be shared publicly after this meeting.
What does the school board do?
I know exactly what the school board do. They decide how many chicken nuggets we get. They make all the rules even the rule about running in the halls, and sometimes I break it. They read like a lot of papers, like a lot.
Was it like the principal's boss? Or like the boss of the boss? Boss?
You know, Slopes. You know, our school board is a group of elected officials who volunteer their time, and they're here to make sure that our kids get the opportunities to learn, that our teachers have the ability to teach and everything they need. That's what our school board does. They're also my boss, but they're a good group to work with.
Thank you for helping our schools be awesome.
Thanks for supporting our teachers. They're pretty great.
Thank you for your steady leadership and unwavering support.
We appreciate the thoughtful decisions you make on behalf of our students.
Your commitment to excellence inspires us daily.
Thank you for working so hard so we can learn new things every day.
We may not see everything you do, but we feel the impact.
Thank you for the countless hours you invest in our community.
Your leadership ensures a bright future.
Thank you for always putting students first.
Thank you for supporting the magic that happens in our classrooms every day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So it's not about chicken nuggets?
We hope that you have enjoyed the month. I know that you've been invited to several things, and I think some of the campuses have provided you items, but it is very hard to put into words how much we truly realize the time that you put into this as volunteers, and so you're very much appreciated.
Thank you, Deanne. Okay, 4.03, Government Finance Officers Association and Association of School Business Officials Awards to Business Operations.
Okay, I would like to ask Dobie Williams and Dana Lout to come up and join Dr. Harrington in front of the podium. Once again, I stand before you to award two of the highest achievements for excellence in financial reporting for 22 years in a row. The HEB ISD Accounting Department has been recognized for their accomplishments by the Association of School Business Officials and the Government Finance Officers Association. These are the highest forms of recognition in governmental accounting, and its attainment represents significant accomplishment by a government entity and its management. So thank you both for your management of our accounting.
Dobie, speech.
All right, 5.01, Certificates of Appreciation to be presented to our donations for the month. I'll turn it over to Ms. Cole.
So as always, we want to give a special thanks to our community for always coming through and helping to support us financially. First up, we have Board Member Chris Brown has a certificate for Elizabeth Torres and Viridian Elementary. This is a $3,810 donation for equipment donated for violins, cases, and bows that will be used for to help Suzuki students have access to instruments that they could not otherwise afford or to rent or purchase. And Principal Manns is here to accept the certificate. And next up, we have Becky Ewart has this certificate for National Life Group. This is a $5,000 donation to Bell High School Orchestra Department. It was given in honor of orchestra students who were selected as a winner of Beats for Good contest, which allocates funds to support music programs. The donation will be used for student orchestra activities and supplies. And Allison King, their director, is here to accept the award. And Allison, you might not know, but somebody from Beats for Good came in and spoke to us early on to let us know that this was being given to him. So, thank you.
All right, next we're ready for open forum. you. And our speaker this evening will be Terry Large, speak about board appreciation.
Yes. One of my favorite nights to come. So I just want to say, personally, I've been coming to these meetings forever. I know someone one time said, I think you come as much as I do, one of the board members. But there's no way that I put in the work that you guys do, and I just want you to know how much we appreciate it. I don't think I said my name, but you said it out loud. I'm Terry Large. I'm actually the president of UEA for the district, and that's why I come to the meetings. But tonight I came specifically to say thank you to people that I consider to be my friends. And in your honor, UEA, this is the biggest donation they've ever made, and my regional manager said, I want you to do this time. So we are making a $500 donation, $250 to Six Stones, and $250 to Clothes Closet in your honor. So I'm very happy to do that. I'm going to leave those with you and hope you can get them to the right people. And I just have a little gift for each of you, just a little thank you. So I'm just going to bring them around real quick. You are welcome. And it just says, thank you for helping our students' dreams soar. So we appreciate it.
That's very sweet. Thank you.
You are welcome. You are so welcome. And this comes from UEA, and we just appreciate all that you guys do. And this time, my dear, I'm including you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Terry. See, at this time, the board is going to go into closed session pursuant to Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code, Chapter 551. The board will adjourn into closed session pursuant to Sections 551.072 and 551.074. All right, at this time, the board will reconvene into open session. We are at 9.01, consent agenda items. Does any board member have any item they'd like removed from the consent agenda? Then I'll accept the motion.
I move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
I have a motion and a second for the board to approve the consent agenda as presented. Please vote. And that motion passes. All right, 10.01, school libraries update. Ms. Elledge.
Let me also echo what everyone else has said this evening about how much we appreciate y'all and what you do. It is amazing. So this is our request to purchase for round 2 of the libraries. 2 quality indicators, the academic rating and early literacy and numeracy. We looked at the district strategic plan also, student success, of course. Just a quick review of Senate Bill 13, which went into effect in September of last year, and then kind of go through what this process will be for this time. So tonight is day 1, and we will provide the list to you and post it on the district's website tomorrow morning. We will give a public notification on the site that they've been posted, and that we will turn the public comment form on. That will stay on for 30 days. As per the law, the board, you will be able to make any recommendation of changes that you would like, and then we will address all public feedback given to us by the district. And then part 3 will be on for us, day 32. We'll remove the list from the website after the required 30 days are up. We'll turn off the public comment form, and then we will update the list with board and public input, and I'll come back to you at the next board meeting and ask for approval to purchase the books. Very simple. Any questions or concerns? Just so you know, remember that the high school did not submit a list last time, so I now have 3 lists because they did submit a list this time. So you'll see 3 lists on there. Tomorrow, you guys also have a list, and the comment form everything will go live tomorrow. Okay?
Okay.
Easy peasy. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Karen. 10.02, reports on employments, resignations, and retirements. Were there any questions on this report? 10.03, disbursements for the month of December 2025. Any questions on that? 10.04, limited open enrollment report. Dr. Johnson.
Good evening. I am bringing forward a report tonight for you. It is limited open enrollment, which is an expansion of our transfer process within the capacity constraints. You've probably heard in the news that many districts are opening up enrollment, and some for various reasons. Our reason is a little different, and our reason is for effectiveness and efficiency. And so it hits strategic plan priority, effectiveness and efficiency, quality indicator 1 and 2. And really, here's what this is about. It's about balancing our efficiency as well as our capacity. You might also hear about school closures and things like that. And so as our district strategic plan states, we are always looking for ways to maintain our effectiveness and our efficiency by utilizing our resources and making sure that we balance things. Last board meeting, Mrs. Clark brought you an attendance boundary adjustment. And that was in order to balance the number of students in our schools in a sensible fashion. This is very similar. So balancing efficiency and capacity. So here's what it means for us. Our current transfer process remains the same in place with an expansion. And as we did the work and looked into our board policy and worked with our policy analysts, the authority that you designated to Dr. Harrington last year with our treetop situation provides us the same opportunity to move forward with expanding our transfer process without any need for an adjustment to board policy. The district we have available capacity in some of our campuses, not all of our campuses. And then our plan would be to offer a limited enrollment where additional resources are not required. And I just want to pause there because the importance is this whole plan really revolves around where we can add additional seats for students of families that have reached out to us several times in the last couple of years. How do we get into HEB? How do we get into HEB? And we point them to our schools of choice. We point them into the ways in which they can move into our district. And so this provides an opportunity to welcome some of those families without straining our additional resources. And so our commitment is to maintain our current staffing and our budget and preserve school stability without resource allocation. And that's where the sensibility and the efficiency comes in. So here's how the process works. Beginning January 21st, we would send out communication that would allow families to submit a limited open enrollment application. Once they submit that application, the offices of secondary and elementary administration would review those, the selections that those families have chosen, determine whether space is available at those campuses that were requested. And if space is available, they would send that transfer request to our campus for review of our criteria of discipline, attendance, and grades. This would follow the normal process that we currently have in place. The only difference is these families, we would request a little bit more information because we would need to reach out to them because they're not in our system. The alternative, if we do not have space available, we would send them an email and reach out to them, let them know that their requested place does not have capacity, and have them reach back out to us about any additional choices that they may have that may have capacity. Once we go through that process, that would go to the campus. They would do their evaluation based on the criteria, and then families will receive the transfer decision based on our current process.
Brandon,
Yes.
Okay, it starts January 21st. Number 4, when are families notated?
So we have deadlines, but so we have the transfer closes on March 13th. But then we also have families that reach out to us after that, and so we have a process where when they reach out to us, that link, a specialized link, is sent to those families, and once they've gone through the review process by the campus, then that transfer decision is made. Then that's when they're notified.
Sometime in April, probably.
Yes, but we could have some transfers that are submitted after April, and so then it would be whenever that review happens.
I've had several ask me already. You gave me one, but you didn't give me one.
Yeah. So, and yes.
Individual campus then is going to look at so they're coming through here and then they're going to the individual campuses and they will get to.
Yes. So the campus does not determine capacity. The Office of Elementary and Secondary does, and then they send it out, and that's the way our process works, even without limited open enrollment.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So the transfer and the school of choice window is already opened.
Yes.
How are we balancing the in-district transfers with the out-of-district transfers? Is there priority given to in-district transfers?
Yes. And the number, of course, always shifts per the day, but we have quite a few transfers that have already been submitted, and we will process those first, and then we will move to our limited open enrollment. And the key, as we always say for our families, is, get it in as soon as you can get it, because once you get it in, we can guarantee we process those first. So next, as we look through this process, it was important for us to make sure that we laid out some key safeguards. And so no new staffing required, no new transportation facility costs, and then that we followed the criteria with discipline, attendance, and grade data. as well as making sure that we balance efficiency and system capacity. And so those were key factors for safeguards. Do we have any questions?
Any additional questions? Thank you, Brandon. 10.05 Bond 2023 Budget Update. Mr. Jones.
Okay. First off, I want to thank Mr. Brown for coming in and working with us a couple weeks ago to kind of fine-tune this presentation for you guys, make it a little easier to understand and everything. And the numbers on here aren't any different than what we presented in December, besides one little change that we made, just an update that we received after that report. Okay, we'll start with the first proposition in Hurst Hills. The big change we made here is we kind of laid this out a little bit different. Starting off that the hard costs, the project budget, that's the numbers that have been approved by the board. That one's not going to shift. If there's an amendment, the amendment will come to you first, and then you'll see it a month or so later on this report. The soft costs on there, those will change occasionally, but we'll have an amendment on there, and we'll be able to tell you exactly what that change was. The column on the left, the project budget, will be the same as it was in the prior presentation, and then we'll move as we go. So your actual expenditures and everything will be based on whatever the actual expenditures are, but the current project budget will always be your number. Okay? And this is just going through all of them. Like I said, the numbers haven't changed since December. If y'all have any questions on any of them, we can go over those, but the numbers themselves have not changed. Then on Wilshire, same thing. Bell Manor right now is an estimate until we have our final number in. This one's just going to be an estimate, and once we have that final number, we'll give you guys a final breakdown of everything on there for that one. Then on LD Bell, same thing. Numbers are all the same. Same with Trinity. The other projects, same there. Everything's just, all the numbers are holding the same, just kind of in the same format. So then that's going to be your total for the current budget. The bond proposal for Prop A was $979,300,000. Currently budgeted, we have $977,600,000. So a little bit under the current proposal there overall. Prop B, we're expecting to spend all $18 million of that one, so same numbers there. Then the other expenses, the extra buildings that we've added on, the one big change here that I wanted to point out was the arbitrage number. We did get a number from our investment advisors. This is just an estimate right now that we're looking at the end of the bond, a $7.2 million expense. Basically, this is where we've made more interest than we've paid in interest, and the IRS doesn't allow you to keep that for tax-free purposes. So with that number included, that brings us down to the totals. So right now we're about $1 million short. We still expect more interest to be made on this that will even that out, so that shouldn't be any problem at all. Okay, do we have any questions?
Any questions on the budget? All right. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you, Chris. All right, we're ready for our public hearing, 11.01, 2025-2026 Targeted Improvement Plan. Dr. Johnson.
Good evening. Tonight we're bringing you the Targeted Improvement Plan for Bel Air Elementary. As part of TEA School Improvement, there is the Targeted Improvement Plan, and then there are more comprehensive improvements that are required. We do not have campuses that are in comprehensive, what's called the turnaround part of improvement. So strategic plan alignment, academic performance expectations, quality indicator 1. Target improvement plans ensure campus level strategies are aligned with district priorities. And so as part of TEA school improvement, we must notify the public of the campus identified in need of performance improvement, what area, demonstrate a process for improvement, and ongoing monitoring. So I want to really quickly get to this slide because I want to give you the context. The context is that we have a B-rated campus that was rated B in 2024, and also rated a B in 2025. In 2024, they received 6 out of 6 distinctions, which is the comparison of schools that are, they performed in the top quartile of comparison schools throughout the state. So 6 out of 6 distinctions in 2024, 5 out of 6 distinctions in 2025, but there is still, we still did not meet in the areas of reading, special education, reading, and math. And so we've been identified for targeted improvement, and that's what happens when the school does not meet for 3 consecutive years. So we have already had our stakeholder meetings at Bel Air. They are well on their way of implementing the plan. They've had their needs assessment, they've gained the stakeholder input, they've set their goals and selected their strategies. So I want to share what those strategies are with the board and the public tonight. We are no strangers to the LTEP process, which is leading through exemplary practices. So we have bi-weekly LTEP PLCs with a focus on special education. We have bi-weekly instructional ILT meetings. We implement quick turnaround cycles for immediate observation and feedback with immediate coaching cycles that happen within 24 to 48 hours. And then we analyze student work samples to ensure alignment within our system. And so that is our process that we use for all of our elementary campuses. And so the main difference that happens with Bel Air is we are focused on special education. So with those PLCs, our special education people are there, Darla is there, our curriculum coordinators and facilitators are there, and so there's wraparound support services to ensure that they have the resources and support that they need. So do we have any questions from the board before
Brandon,
we
what's
open
the
up?
mobility rate of Bel Air?
I do not know that off the top of my head, but I can get that to you.
Because I think a lot of people don't understand they have a lot of move-in and move-outs.
Yes, sir.
It's really difficult, having been there, and you've been there too. Those kids that move in and never been through our kindergarten or first or second grade, bring them up to speed. I know Bel Air has suffered that through the years with the high mobility rate. So it's, you know, we're working as hard as we can, but you got to understand who we're working with.
Yes, sir.
And I've always, would have liked to know in HEB, those kids that started in kindergarten through 12, what they scored compared to our mobility rate score. And I think we do a better job than most districts in that mobility rate. So I just want to get that out so people understand what they're dealing with.
Yes, and that's why I wanted to also give the information about their TEA ratings, because most school districts around us, when they're talking about targeted improvement or turnaround improvement, they're talking about D or F campuses, and they're trying to get those D or F campuses to a C, whereas we have a B-rated campus, and we have one area that is a focus.
So the target being special ed, I assume that their special ed has grown as much as the rest of the districts has.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Okay.
Any other questions?
22.33% so far this year.
Bel Air's 22.33% mobility so far this year. And if there are no further questions, we'll open the public hearing.
All right, this is a public hearing, so I declare this public meeting now open to hear comments concerning the presentation of the 2025-2026 Targeted Improvement Plan. If there's anyone here from the public who'd like to speak to this plan, now's your opportunity. All right, seeing none, if there's no further discussion, I will now close this public meeting. All right, board, we're down to action items. There was nothing removed from the consent agenda. So 12.02, consider approval of annual comprehensive report for financial year ended August 31st, 2025. Mr. Williams.
Good evening. Before I get started with that, I do want to take this opportunity to thank the board for all you do. The success of our students starts right here, and we could not do that without your support of students first and then staff. And all of us. So thank you all for your volunteering your time, because it is 100% volunteer. And a lot of people don't realize how much time that is, but I do, and it's a lot, so thank you. Before I bring up Weaver Tidwell, our auditor, I would also Dr. Joe, like to take you up here on your opportunity too. Although I get to stand up here and accept those GFOA awards and do all that and smile and get my picture made, the real work is done by our accounting department, Dana Laux and Janice Hollingsworth. So I want to give credit where credit is due. They do all the work. And a lot of people don't realize how much work goes into this night, what ends up here tonight. I mean, this starts back in June when we started working with the auditors. And from then until now, it's every day pretty much in the accounting department, as well as other departments that are supplying us information. So I want to give credit where credit is due. So with that, I will ask Bryant Sanchez with Weaver Tidwell. He's going to present tonight. Miss Dempsey, Sarah Dempsey, who normally presents for us, she is at their office in India, as I understand it. I did not know they had an office in India, but they do. So I'm going to turn it over to Bryant and let him present.
Thank you, Dobie. Good evening. As Dobie mentioned, I'm Brian Sanchez. I had the pleasure of serving as a senior manager on the audit this past year. And I'll be going over very brief presentation over the audit process, the results of the audit. There'll be some required communications that I'll go over as well. And I'll go over very high level upcoming changes, and then we'll open up the floor for any questions. So as Dobie mentioned, kind of stealing a little bit of my thunder here. So as he mentioned, it's a continuous process. We officially started interim work in August, but even before then, we're in communication with Dobie, Dana, Janice, and the rest of the team to go over any items that come up, any transactions, or any new pronouncements that are going to be implemented during the year. So we discuss those, we go through those, any issues and things like that. We also go over initial planning and risk assessment. We're here on site in August. We did a hybrid approach this year. It's our first year doing that. But yeah, we had interim field work in August, final field work October, November, and then here we are today for you all to approve the ACFR and the results of the audit. So we performed the audit in accordance with generally accepted auditing standards and generally accepted government auditing standards. We also performed a single audit of federal awards in accordance with the uniform guidance. And we also tested the district's compliance with certain provisions of laws, regulations, contracts, and grant agreements, including items such as compliance with the PFIA, which is the Public Funds Investment Act, and TEA state compliance requirements. So we take a risk-based approach here at Weaver. We focus on specific risks. So you'll see listed there a couple of the areas where we really honed in on things like federal, state grant revenues and expenditures, the State Foundation School Program revenue, CIP, purchasing, bid, procurement, capital assets, payroll, as well as payables and related liabilities there as well, long-term liabilities, bonds, pension, OPEB, cash and investments. We also tested internal controls over financial reporting and compliance. And we also tested compliance with major program requirements. So that's specific to the single audit. So during interim, again, we have our initial planning and risk assessment. We perform walkthroughs of accounting controls over significant transaction cycles. So again, the disbursements, purchasing, cash receipts, including, again, state and federal grants, and then property tax receipts as well, payroll, budget, and financial close and reporting. We also identify the major federal programs that we'll be testing, and then again, we test controls over compliance in addition to the district's compliance with those grants. So these major programs that were tested in fiscal year 25 were Title I and the Special Education Cluster. As I mentioned earlier, we also performed compliance testing for PFIA. And then in addition to the walkthroughs over key cycles, we also tested controls over cash disbursements, payroll, bid procurement, and then again, compliance. So during final field work, we also performed testing over the financial statements that are prepared by the district through confirmation, vouching, analytics, to name a few methods. We also completed the single audit testing over compliance and internal controls over compliance for those aforementioned major programs, ultimately to form and express an opinion about whether the district's financial statements were presented fairly in all material respects. In addition, we also formed and expressed an opinion about whether certain supplementary information, such as the schedule of expenditures of federal awards or the CFA, was stated fairly in relation to the financial statements as a whole. All right, so audit results. So we have issued an unmodified or clean opinion. During our review of internal control or financial reporting, there were no material weaknesses identified. There were no significant deficiencies that were identified from a result of our procedures, and there were no instances of non-compliance that were material to the financial statements. And to clarify that, there were no instances of non-compliance noted at all. So. And then for our single audit, again, we're also issuing an unmodified or clean opinion there. The district qualifies as a low-risk entity. That's something we have to evaluate as part of the single audit. So as a result of our procedures over internal control over these major programs, again, we did not note any or identify any material weaknesses. There were no significant deficiencies noted or reported, and we have no audit findings to report as well. And a reminder, again, we tested our major programs this year were Title I and the Special Education Cluster. All right, so required communications. So we've issued a letter, communication to those governance, the board, in accordance with generally accepted auditing standards. So this slide and the one after kind of just summarizes these communications. A reminder again that our responsibility under generally accepted auditing standards is to issue a report on the financial statements. And again, we issued an unmodified opinion. Again, there were no findings noted under government auditing standards. In addition, in regards to the single audit, again, no unmodified opinion and on compliance and no findings there. Quick correction to note here, there was a new accounting, there was the adoption of a new accounting principle this year, GASB 101, which is over compensated absences. And that's mentioned in note 1 of the financials and the notes to the financials. There were no fraud or illegal acts that were noted as a result of our procedures and testing. Again, there were no material weaknesses in internal control over financial reporting, and there were no material weaknesses in internal control over compliance that were noted as a result of our procedures. In addition, we evaluated management's estimates and judgments, and we determined those to be reasonable. There were no difficulties encountered during the audits. It's always a pleasure to work with Janice, Dana, and Dobie, and the rest of the finance team. We also had a management representation letter that was obtained in conjunction with the release of the financial statements. We were not aware of any consultations the district took during the audit and related to the audit. There were no independence issues noted. So part of the audit, we have to evaluate whether the engagement team and the firm is independent of the district. There were no past adjustments or significant audit adjustments to note as a result of the audits. And in addition, there's nothing to note in terms of any material written communications between the firm and the district. And so finally, again, some high-level upcoming changes. There'll be 2 new GASB pronouncements that'll be coming into effect next year. As you'll see here, these are mostly just updates to disclosures. The idea just to enhance clarity, transparency, and such. Again, I won't go too much into detail, but there'll be some minor changes in the financials next year. But these will be a much less of a lift as the previous pronouncements were. And so with that, I conclude the presentation. Again, always appreciate the opportunity to work with the district. I've been on this audit for a couple of years now. It's always, like I said, always been great to work with you all. And with that, any questions?
Any questions on the audit from the board?
Mr. Sanchez, I just have a
Yes.
brief question. The major programs, is that something different every year that you do the audit?
Yes, so we evaluate the federal programs every year. And so the compliance supplement or the uniform guidance requires us to test certain programs every so often. And so typically what you'll see is some of these programs are kind of on rotation every 2-3 years, just depending on the amount of grant expenditures.
Okay.
So,
Good.
Yep.
I'm new to this, so I was just
Yeah,
curious
no problem.
how that works.
All right, any additional questions? All right, thank you so much. This is a action item, so I'll accept the motion.
I move that the board approve the annual comprehensive financial report for the fiscal year ended August 31st, 2025, as presented by Weaver Tidwell, LLP.
Second.
I have a motion and a second that the board approve the annual comprehensive financial report for the fiscal year ended August 31st, 2025, as presented by Weaver and Tidwell, LLP. Please vote. And that motion passes. Thank you, sir. 12.03, consider approval of quarterly investment report for quarter ending November 2025. Mr. Williams?
Yes, you have before you the quarterly investment report ending November 2025. As you may or may not know, the feds did lower the rate by a quarter point or 25 basis points. So that, of course, does impact our interest earnings going forward at some point. Future outlooks, they're saying maybe holding off, based on recent economic reports coming out. So, but if you're really bored, just read the summary there on the front of the investment report. It's a pretty good recap. It kind of gives you an idea of what they look at, what drives the market, and what may drive the market in the future. But other than that, if you have any questions, I'll be glad to try to answer them.
All right, any questions on this report? I'll accept the motion.
I move the board approve the quarterly investment report for the quarter ending November 2025 as presented.
Second.
I have a motion and a second for the board to approve the quarterly investment report for the quarter ending November 2025 as presented. Please vote. And that motion passes. 12.04, consider approval of attendance boundary adjustment. Ms. Clark.
Good evening. Happy Board Appreciation Month. Thank you for all that you do for us. Does anybody have any questions as a follow-up to the report from the last meeting?
My only question was, when you spoke to us last time, you said you hadn't gotten a lot of feedback from parents. Has there been any additional?
We got 9 emails. Deanne, have any other emails come in? I haven't been told, so I think no. Wanted to be sure, but yeah, just those 9.
All right, any other questions? And I'll accept the motion.
I move the board approve the attendance boundary adjustment as presented.
Second.
I have a motion and a second for the board to approve the attendance boundary adjustment as presented. Please vote. And that motion passes. 12.05, consider approval of furniture, fixtures, and equipment for the Faye Ballou Family Support Center. Mr. Kerbo.
Trustees, good to be with you again tonight. There's 2 indicators that show that a project is nearing completion. One, it gets a name. So I'm happy to refer to this site as the Faye Ballou Family Support Center. And 2, we start bringing a furniture, fixture, and equipment list to you for approval. We missed our deadline for the last board meeting, hoping to give this a 2-read, so we apologize for that. It was just the holidays interfered with the vendor finalizing their numbers and so forth, but we've provided you some sufficient information, and went through a needs assessment with the programs. They're going to be relocated there, created a list of furnishings that are needed, and issued that to quote with our awarded vendor. So this represents the list. Just so you know, when Bell Manor is renovated, the old Bell Manor is renovated to permanently house the Keys High School, about 200,000 of this list will go with that program to the new location. So what represents about 300,000 or so of actual FF&E that'll be going in here.
All right. Any questions? And I'll accept the motion.
I move the board approve the purchase of furniture, fixtures, and equipment from Indesco Sales in a not-to-exceed amount of $505,000 as presented.
Second.
I have a motion and a second for the board to approve the purchase of furniture, fixtures, and equipment from Indesco Sales in a not-to-exceed amount of $505,000 as presented. Please vote. And that motion passes. 12.06, consider approval of authorization for contract electrical services signature.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I know you'll be shocked, but I'm not here to talk about construction tonight. It's about electricity. This is another good way to show that how the board supports us being able to provide the best budgets and facilities for our students. What we're recommending is the authorization for Dr. Joe to sign an agreement or enter into a contract, and that is also him or a designee. Now, having said that, you see the storm that's impending this week, last week. What we're also going to ask you to do is to amend this recommendation because the rate that we recommended last week is already basically they've already blown past that. So as of last Friday, looking at the next storm, the rates are increasing so much that we're actually recommending 0.077 as what you would designate for us to be able to sign an agreement for.
So our current agreement ends in 28, right?
Yes, sir.
So are we going to keep that rate through 28 and then extend past that with the new rate, or?
Yes. So the contract will run through, it should be May, June of 28. There are options. One thing you can do is do what's called a blend and extend. The problem with that one is you're basically taking on a burden now, increase our budgets as of right this second, and then we move out, and then you have another jump. What we recommend is actually let's finish out this contract and then we let that bump jump up there. As you can see, the rate basically is going to double from what we are now to in 28. That's what that'll look like.
Yeah, so that's an annual hit of how much?
About $2.5 million. So we ran some numbers. We run roughly, it's somewhere between $2.3 to $2.5 million in our electricity over the last 5 years. COVID really messed things up. You know, we really made out some like bandits on that with some savings, but that's what we've been running over the last few years.
So with the new high schools coming online about the same time as this contract goes in.
Yes.
Is that pretty much a wash between higher efficiency buildings and this extra square footage, or
so
what are we anticipating?
This is the kind of a proud moment that I like to be able to say about HEB, that we are very efficient with our electrical usage. When I go out, we usually can send this over to our broker. We give them the ins and outs of the building. They turn around and then give us an estimate of what that building is going to look like, and then we can look at our billing and see what we're going to need to do. They don't like that. They like even taking us out of their models because they say we mess them all up. Because the size and square footage of what we have, we run so efficient that it messes up. They can't have us in there with other people like us. So when talking today, we were saying just that is we're looking at what those rates are going to be. She said, I really don't see you guys jumping. I see it just kind of a lazy pull up, like onto a plateau or something. But that's about it.
All right. Any additional questions?
So on the communique, we've got terms even down through 84 months. With the change, is that off the table?
We can go that far out. If you guys, if that's how you would like to amend it, you can do that too. Our recommendation is 60 to 72. That gets us out far enough past a few things. It also, you're looking at elections as being something that could do that. If you get out that far as well, we're looking at, do we have some impact from technology leap that we have that could bring on cheaper electricity? The other part too is really what we're fighting right now, and with the impending storm, is if we lose any generation plants in the next couple weeks, that's going to create an issue. If we lose any of our grid, cabling, that kind of stuff, that's going to cause an issue. So if we get out that far, it could reverse that. I wouldn't want to lock us in for too long. Again, this is Las Vegas when we come to this.
So is the recommendation a 60 or a 72?
Yes, sir. It's whatever rate is going to come out between a 60 or a 72 month contract.
All right, any other questions? And I'll accept the motion.
I move that the board approve the authorization of the superintendent or designee, the authority to sign a 60 to 72-month commercial electricity service agreement with Direct Energy Business LLC at the rate of .077 or less per kilowatt.
Second.
I have a motion and a second for the board to approve the authorization of the superintendent or designee to the authority to sign a 60 to 72-month commercial electricity service agreement with Direct Energy Business LLC at the rate of .077 or less per kilowatt. Please vote.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. We do not need a, let's see, 13.01, opportunity for board members to request items be played on future board agendas. Anything this evening? All right, we do not need a second closed session. Then I will accept a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
We're adjourned.
I heard soccer. As you were walking out, I heard soccer.
I was like,